urgent message from the totalitarian state. Today, we are calling for the immediate arrest of journalist Glenn Greenwald. The recent actions of Mr. Greenwald, a reporter for The Guardian, cannot be allowed to stand in a totalitarian state. The National Security Agency's data mining tool, Boundless Informant, which collected 97 million pieces of intelligence from worldwide computer networks in March 2013 alone, and 3 million pieces of intelligence from computer networks based in the United States in just a 30-day period, cannot effectively operate in the shadows protecting the interests of the totalitarian state if journalists like Glenn Greenwald remain free. Perhaps most chillingly, Greenwald invoked the U.S. Constitution, the same document former President George Bush referred to as just a goddamn piece of paper, in defense of his actions.
It's pretty clear that investigation would have to include you.
Look, let them go and investigate. There's this document called the Constitution, and one of the things that it guarantees is the right of a free press, which means that as a citizen and as a journalist, I have the absolute constitutional right to go and report on what it is that my government is doing in the dark and inform my fellow citizens about that action.
The totalitarian state has long supported the pretense of free speech in order to keep its true agendas fully cloaked, but the Greenwald example illustrates how secret totalitarian state information is now being used to American people who are showing some signs of an awakening. Which situation cannot persist.
There is this massive surveillance state that the United States government has built up that has extraordinary implications for how we live as human beings on the earth and as Americans in our country. And we have the right to know what it is that government and that agency is doing, and I intend to continue to shine light on that, and Dianne Feinstein can beat her chest all she wants and call for investigations, and none of that's going to stop and none of it's going to change.
Michael was working on a number of stories, one of which was centered on now CIA Director John Brennan.
Well, now we're finding out some new things about what happened with Michael. Now, we yesterday told you about, of course, how he passed away at 4:30 in the morning in LA in a single car crash. It was a very fiery crash, and the engine was thrown about, some say 50 feet, some say far bigger distance than that.
Sounded like a bomb went off in the middle of the night. My house shook. The windows were rattling.
Could have written a scene like this for a movie where the engine flies from the car, which was about, 50, 60 minutes up, right down.
I do know that Michael was concerned about government surveillance. He said it on this show all the time. He also said it off air. And he had rights to be concerned. Of course, the government, it turns out, was surveilling reporters such as the Associated Press and, of course, James Rosen at Fox News Channel, and perhaps some CBS reporters as well. And then I went back and found the last article that Michael had written for BuzzFeed, and it says why Democrats love to spy on Americans. It's a very good point about President Obama, as he has done on this show many times, talking about how President Obama had what he called a war on journalism. He had talked about how the Obama administration and its allies, the FBI and Department of Justice, had viciously attacked reporters and anyone else that they knew to be a threat. About Jacob Applebaum. He said he's a transparency activist and a computer savant, and that he's continually been harassed at the American border, and his laptop was seized. Barrett Brown, these are cases you can look into for yourself. Michael was a terrific reporter. Barrett Brown was an investigative journalist who wrote for Vanity Fair from time to time, among other publications, Michael explains. And he was writing about connections between private contracting firm H.B. Gary, and that's the firm that targeted Glenn Greenwald. We told you about that. Computer, it turns out 3 different private contractors, defense contractors, were scheming to work with the Chamber of Commerce to target certain people, including Glenn Greenwald. And this is another part of the attack on journalists. And apparently, Barrett Brown is currently sitting in a Texas prison on trumped-up FBI charges. Now, whether any legitimate reporters will follow up on this is a good and open question, given that there aren't very many legitimate reporters left in the country. Michael Hastings was one of the few. So why don't you do your job for a change? Michael's not here anymore, so some of you have to step up and actually act like reporters. I know that's foreign to you. Nonsense!